Hi there, you're watching Dukascopy TV, and this is yet another release of the Dukascopy Bank Sentiment Index for April. This time around, we have invited our very own Vice President and Chief Operations Officer, Marc Spaelti, to comment on the latest findings of the survey conducted among 30 academic experts worldwide. Marc, thank you for joining us. So, to begin, according to the Dukascopy Bank Sentiment Index poll, the short and long-term prospects for Asia-Pacific are the only ones that have seen a slight deterioration, slipping to 0.69 and 0.73 respectively. Marc, do you expect the weaker sentiment to spread into other regions going on forward, considering that the G20 finance leaders, led by Janet Yellen, told the Bank of Japan to terminate its QE program as their unprecedented volume purchases of government bonds and risky assets will negatively impact global markets?
Well, to give a short answer, I think the answer is no, not necessarily. Of course, Japan is a bit of a special case. It has been struggling with economic boost for many years, and the Bank of Japan is simply determined to keep this money inflow alive for the time being, giving it the best chance of survival. Of course, the overall sentiment is currently a little bit negative towards Asia Pacific, but I don't think it's going to spoil it for the rest of the world.
The Sentiment Index poll also showed that the number of respondents who predict the Euro economy to move up along the business cycle curve in the near and long term increased in April, with 15 of those surveyed seeing the economy to reach the expansion phase 6 months from now, while 22 professors see the economy moving further away from the recessionary territory. However, the European Commission just recently stated that low inflation will continue to be a threat to the Eurozone expansion for no less than 2 years. So Marc, to what extent could the subdued inflation stall Europe's development for the short and long term?
Well, it's in fact quite interesting that the ECB still sees a negative inflation as the biggest threat. Of course, market watchers, and if we were outside a little bit, we are expecting this huge amount of money inflow to take its toll and eventually drive inflation. So, but currently the ECB is still seeing deflation as the main threat and therefore will add liquidity going forward, and they are yet to clearly show signs that those measures are actually taking a hold and boosting the economy. Yeah, if we look again at the sentiment index, it's been stabilizing. It doesn't fall any further, but we have yet to make some real progress, and everyone for that is turning to the US and is looking for signs from them.
And to wrap up, the chart indicates how the economic prospects in half a year have been developing over the past 5 months. Evidently, academic experts became more upbeat about the sentiment for North America. Nevertheless, following the latest Fed meeting, many economists anticipate the end of QE in the US by the end of this year. Marc, what kind of mood do you believe is likely to set in the markets?
I think it's going to be more of the same. The Fed has, over the past 6 months or even longer, looked at and very seriously looked at the QE3, the impact, and studied what are the ways to end this and mop up the extra liquidity. And, well, the miracle solution for now has been tapering, and these tapering announcements, we've had 3 of them so far. We are looking to probably get another 3 or 4 announcements by the end of the year. And yes, this effectively stops QE3, but this stopping of QE3 has been a phasing out as smooth as possible to be done by the Fed, and I think they're doing a good job, and I think that the impact, at least negative impact on the market, will be very, very limited at most. It will rather have a scope to boost the dollar going forward. Once it's clear that the discrepancy towards the ECBs and the Bank of Japan is just too large, meaning the US is tightening while the other two are still loosening.
Marc, thank you for your feedback. And that is all for today's release. But we encourage you to visit Dukascopy's website and click on Sentiment Index below the Market Research section for a more detailed report. See you next month. Goodbye.